Let's talk about Volkanovski's fantastic footwork strategy, which kept him safe, or as safe as could possibly be, against such a dangerous opponent in Diego Lopes. I just finished watching UFC 314, and I know a lot of people counted Volk out. Volkanovski, they're going, oh, he has such a dangerous opponent. He's been knocked out a couple times in a row. He's over 35, coming back for a title shot. This is very dangerous. But we also recognize how good he was. And the footwork. It's basic, but it's something we have to touch on because so many people want to improve their footwork, but I think they look for complicated strategies. Things like, okay, I'm here, I'm gonna take a cross step and I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna do a little shuffle and then angle off. And while that kind of stuff is fun and it's good, sometimes, most times actually, in terms of striking, defense, footwork, simple things that you can execute consistently is the best. So let's break all that down. Before we do, one day and only one day left to grab my strike ready courses, offense and defense, for just $99, 67% savings. All the strategies, the tactics that I have used to win these world title belts. Something like 50 videos for you guys to go through, partner drills, strategies, technique, so much. Link down below, grab that before it expires and we're back to regular pricing. Now, Volkanovski, he has a fairly long stance, right? He's not somebody who's very narrow. What are his options when he steps in front of Diego Lopes? He stands his ground. He just stands here. That's probably not a great option. He could get really bouncy. He could start bouncing around. Energy. That takes a lot of energy. So he stays here, but he's constantly, and he's moving fairly quick with his feet. Little boom, 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 boom. Staying low, staying ready to explode, not just moving sideways, because then you're constantly moving out of firing range, right? When I move sideways and my opponent stays there, eventually I'm like, yeah, okay, I can't hit this guy anymore. So he does a perfect circle, moving around his opponent. What does that cause Diego Lopes to have to do? If I'm Diego Lopes and I have Volkanovski in front of me, I'm constantly having to do this. Now, while that doesn't take a lot of energy, it's much more energy for Volkanovski to be moving, it makes it hard for him to start an attack, because if he turns and now attacks, Volkanovski has already moved. But the genius move to me behind all of this is as soon as Volkanovski decides to stop, Lopes would stop, right? He'd be circling, he'd stop, but Lopes couldn't pull the trigger before Volkanovski, because Volkanovski is leading the dance. He's the one who's initiating the movement. So as soon as he stops, then he can explode in. And we saw him do that many times. It kept Lopes in this constant, oh, I have to move, I have to be following him. But the few times where he did manage to execute, Volkanovski would just back up and create distance. So you can see, overall, this is not a super difficult strategy. It's just as simple as, don't stay here. If you're gonna be moving, you're gonna be moving your feet, you might as well be moving sideways. And then when you decide to stop, and this guy finally squares up and you're already on him, it gives you a clear-cut advantage. Staying ahead of your opponent offensively works, defensively works. It's great, and I loved it. And I love the win. And I love seeing Volkanovski back on top, because Alexander the Great, Volkanovski, he is great. He's great as a fighter at the highest level, demonstrating skills. He also seems like a great human being. Somebody that myself, I watch him because I go, I really like this guy. He seems very genuine. He seems very kind. Everything about his personality is just fantastic. So I was very happy to see him recapture that title and give us something great to talk about today. That's all, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. I will see you back here soon for another episode.